Welcome back to Tabletop 24, welcome back to the Airecon show floor. I'm with Niall from Crab Studios to talk about Fatal Knockout. So tell us a little bit about the game.
Right, okay, so Fatal Knockout, as you can probably tell, I mean you might not be able to, it is very heavily inspired by old school arcade fighters. So the game involves playing cards in order to move around this track, deal damage and use special abilities which are completely unique to each fighter. The base game comes with 6 fighters, all very unique. Each card, there's not a single card in the game which is copied anywhere else. Every deck's unique, and they have special abilities as well. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over how a round works, the example of it. So each player will draw 3 cards into their hand. I'll just draw 1 for Grappler, and then I'll just play from the deck of the Gunslinger. So you have 3 cards in your hand, and these 3 cards all have different icons on them. Now this might be a bit scary to begin with. A lot of players go, oh my god, these just look like hieroglyphics. But then literally after one turn, because something for me when designing the game is I wanted every single icon to follow the exact same logic as every other icon. So once you get one icon, I understand it, you understand the whole game. Yep. And also it gets people reading the cards a lot quicker and also thinking visually, which is huge for this game as well. So the way the round works is there's a leader, and the leader chooses to play a card face up on the board. And then the opponent has to play a card face up. So now you kind of have the initial plan on the board of both fighters. So you know what they're kind of thinking, what they want to try achieve that turn. And then as the leader, you can choose whether or not to play another card from your hand of 3. If you do, you play it face down. So this is the point now where you've seen what people are wanting to do, and now you can secretively react to it. And then the Gunslinger is forced to play another card because the Grappler played a card. And the Grappler at this point could choose to play another card, and this will be the final card that they play. If they don't choose to do it, they just say they're not doing it anymore. All cards are flipped over, and they're put into ascending initiative order. So it would go reload because it's a 0 initiative, then it would go close in with a 5 initiative, then it would go charge forward with 7, and fan the hammers with 13. And then they're just acted out on the board. So Gunslinger should actually start with 3 bullets, but we're just going to ignore that and just do the reload action. So they would gain 3 bullets, and if you ever played Quacks to Quedlinburg before, very heavily inspired by that game, which is weird because you wouldn't think a fighting game would have a mechanic inspired by that. But yeah, each bullet is unique and does different actions depending on the colour of the bullet. And then the Gunslinger would then gain a shield with the bottom action. All cards are red top down. Now closing, what that does, it allows you to either move 1 forward or 1 backwards. And then attack 1 space in front. Now, as you can probably tell, we're not going to actually be able to attack here, but just to be able to move 1 forward there. And then charge forward is either move 2 forward or 2 backwards. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to move... in fact, no, what I'm going to do is, because I've seen fan the hammers there, which will do damage to me, I'm going to use the mod on the card instead to sacrifice the whole card and just use it to shield. So I'll play a shield in front of me. In front or behind is obviously very important because if the Gunslinger was behind me here and I shielded in front, they'd still be able to do damage to me. Orientation in this game is huge. And fan the hammers would allow the Gunslinger, because it's got mix-up on it, to use the bottom action first. So they're going to move forward, 1, and then they're going to use their fan the hammers ability, which is their ability to do 3 instances of damage, total the same number as the amount of ammo they've got in the bullet. So basically they're firing all 3 bullets simultaneously. So they'll probably use the white bullet, which is just 1 damage to break the shield, and then they'll use another white bullet and a black bullet to do a total of 3 damage, because the black bullet does 2 damage. It's the only black bullet in their arsenal. So in this round, Gunslinger actually takes 3 damage in 1 go. Now, of course, Gunslinger will know at this point that the Grappler will know at this point that the Gunslinger has used their most powerful card in the deck, so they're not going to have that anymore, but that'll be a very impressive turn from the Gunslinger to begin with. But yeah, so these are the 2 probably most basic fighters in the game. There's other fighters like the guitarist, which uses the power of music to do damage. We have the stance, which sort of like changes stance depending on which fighter they're facing, so they act completely differently. We have the zoner, which throws a javelin across the board and then can do damage from the javelin or retrieve it like Thor's hammer. But yeah, and also if you look there should be a squirrel. That's one of the expansion fighters. So you have like the expansion is a squirrel as well, which can just steal scrap off the other fighter and then build like massive weapons out of them. But yeah, that's Fatal Knockout.
Brilliant. So when can we expect to see this? Kickstarter.
Yeah, so it's on Kickstarter right now.
Yep.
It finishes March 28th. We're really, really close to funding as we're recording this right now. I think we're on like 75%. And then we're looking to for Phil, latest March 2024, so a year from now.
Perfect. So check out the Kickstarter, which we'll link in the description below. Thank you, Niall, for walking us through that.
No worries.
Check out other videos from the convention, like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time. Take care.